One of my rare journeys to the beach, and it's about 3:30 in the afternoon. It's quite warm, I'd say high 20s would be a fair estimation, and maybe even pushing 30. It's quite warm today. As you can see, I made a bit more progress with my pressure washer, the Isuzu washer. I've done that whole section now, and looks a hell of a lot better, and I'm about halfway down the next section. So I only do it early morning because that's when this is in the shade, and it's getting a bit warmer during the day these days, so I try to do it in the cooler hours of the day. But I should really get it finished. I might even get some more done tomorrow. I've got to go out tomorrow morning, but really early I might do that, so we'll see how it goes. Oh God, more mail, of course. I dread the mail these days, but yeah, it certainly looks a lot cleaner, doesn't it? So I think it was a good investment. I might even do this section here, and I might even think about painting the surface here too. I shouldn't have waited for the mail with such trepidation. It actually was good news from the ANZ. They apparently are going to credit me back that $500 sports bet amount. Now, I actually contacted the banking ombudsman on Monday because I hadn't heard from them, and I just assumed, because they said that there was like 5 days to come up with a reply, which I did, and which was a couple of weeks ago. They contacted me, and it sounded very much like they weren't going to budge on that $500. So I waited a couple of weeks. I thought it was a reasonable amount of time because I hadn't heard back from them. And so I contacted the ombudsman on this Monday. So it was only actually it was only yesterday that I actually did that. So the timing couldn't be much worse. It was one day out. If they'd just emailed me or rang me, it would have saved them probably $75. But because they decided to tell me this good news through the mail, I was assuming that I'd missed out. So I feel a bit bad about doing the well, I suppose I could go back and maybe withdraw it, because under these circumstances, because it may not still have happened yet. Although I'll check my bank account. I forgot to check my bank account today. That'll be the first thing I do to make sure that the money has been reversed, and then I'll contact the ombudsman, because it was only yesterday I put the complaint in, so I might be able to withdraw it. So we'll see. I'm still pissed off with the ANZ the way they made me jump through hoops though, compared to Combank. Combank were much better. So anyway, that's an unexpected outcome. I thought I was going to have a fight on my hands with the banking ombudsman, or with ANZ via the banking ombudsman, I should say. So that was a good outcome. I'm still out of pocket out of all this, but it's nowhere near as bad as what I thought. The other thing today is I contacted the computer share, and they're going to be sending me a check out for the missing dividends for TPG. So that's about $120. So it's been a reasonably good day for me in that respect. So I guess I should be happy with that. Things could be a lot worse. Remember the guy that was sitting next to me at the Combank branch at Smithfield the day I reported this fraud? He was out of pocket 40 grand, and he'd been diddled a fair bit the previous year as well. So yeah, my financial issues are very minor compared to some people. Got to put it in perspective. I mean, I am a pensioner, so I'm not on big dough or anything. I've got to count the pennies. But, I'm surviving, and I think most Aussies are in that same boat. it's just a matter of survival these days with inflation and everything, so it's pretty tough. Other thing I tried doing today was joining Meetup, because the old Meetup is actually using the hacked email that I had, and so I tried setting it up with the other email, the Gmail email, and it wouldn't let me do it because there was always a record in my name under the other one. So I had to actually do it via, I could get into it, but I'd have to set up, in effect, a new account under a different name. So it's pretty stupid, really. It annoys me when you can't change email addresses and stuff, but I got onto the Northern Beaches over 50s group. It used to be the over 50s group. They've amended that to over 45s now. And I was asking to join up because they've got a Melbourne Cup Day next Tuesday at the Trendy Beach Social Club. So that's quite convenient. However, the problem, well, it's not a major problem, but it's just a surprise. I was just filling out the basic details to get the acceptance, and at the end now they're asking for a $10 annual fee. There was no charge in the past. I've never been charged to be a member of a meetup group. The only one I've heard of that did charge was the Cairns social group. So I guess they're following their lead. And I think they were charging more than $10 a year too. So I guess it's up to the discretion of the person who sets up the group what charges they levy on members. So I don't know whether it's worth it. It probably is worth. $10 is nothing these days. It's becoming more of nothing every day because it's getting devalued. And I did have a bit of a, well, I wouldn't say windfall, but it's a positive outcome today. I was hoping I would get this money back, but it's nice to see it in black and white. So yeah, my finances aren't too bad. It's not that. It's just sort of more the principle of it. But maybe I should just not worry about it, bite the bullet and give it a go. Yeah. I'll think about it. It was just a shock because I've never seen that before. And they probably should mention it in their little blurb saying there is now a yearly charge rather than just springing up when you actually do the application. I mean, it's not ideal. I mean, the social group thing, because the only thing you've got in common is that you want to socialise. So it's a bit hit and miss. I mean, Yoli's a nice enough person. The people organising it are good, you know. I think they're pretty conscientious and good people. And I don't mind them getting paid a bit for their effort because it is a thankless task. So to that degree, yeah, I don't really care. It was just a bit of a shock. So I probably will join up because I haven't had a bet on the horses for years, literally years. Melbourne Cup, I certainly don't. Years ago I would have had a bet on the Melbourne Cup, but it's a very infrequent event for me. Like I say, I get my gambling fix out of the stock market. But anyway, I am at least able to join up if I want to. So probably I should do it, and Trendy Beach Sports Club would be the perfect opportunity. They've got a pre-Christmas do at about on the 2nd of December as well. Yeah, you know, what the hell. I probably should join and do it, because I've been very isolated because I was feeling really crook late last week. I don't know what I came down with, whether it was a food poisoning thing or whatever, but I just didn't want to do anything. I mean, I really missed my gatherings down at the beach house on Fridays, and it was the last time I'm going to be able to see Steve there for some time. Well, it's nice to have a bit of shade, but it's not that much cooler. There's not much of a breeze here. You get a really good breeze at Trendy Beach. It's just a wisp. But I will walk down the beach itself to just see if there's any progress on the bike track bridge. See how that's going. It's yeah, so it's good to get a few things done. And yeah, that high pressure water pump is pretty good actually. It seems to be very effective. I didn't even know those things existed until Dale came round and with all his gear to do some handyman stuff, and used it on my fence. He used it on the front fence, if I recall. That was the first thing he did, just to take the muck off the timber. Then he did a small demo on the side fence, and also did a couple of tiles in the front garden, and boy, it made a difference. It's amazing the power that water with under pressure can exert. It was one of our major forms of power, apart from horsepower, literal horsepower in using horses. Prior to the Industrial Revolution, water was the industrial fuel, I guess you call it, because water wheels, they did major milling. The Romans set up virtual factories milling grain. They had huge water wheels and big facilities to do that stuff. So they came close to industrialisation, they just never got round to using coal. But I think they probably came the closest, although we'll never know, because artefacts from those sort of things, someone might have built a boiler in the past, and if they had these days, it would have, because it's not in stone, there'd be no evidence of it. Whereas all the things that were made out of stone, they last for thousands of years, so there's the evidence is always there. But it could be that some civilization actually did get that far. A guy named Hero in Alexandria, in that area, he is able to basically develop a steam turbine. He didn't have any power because it was used as a sort of an ornamental type thing. But he had the principle down, and he created a rotating shaft. So it was just a matter of applying it. But of course, there's no reward back in those days for doing those sorts of things. As a matter of fact, you may get beheaded by coming up with a new technology that rocks the boat. That certainly did happen. So you have to have a benign environment for people innovating and inventing. Definitely on the horizon, they've got the nets erected. You can see them over there. So I want to go for a swim. At least I guess I've got a little bit of protection there. So maybe I should contemplate that. It's got good facilities down here. They've got outside shower facilities and toilets, and apparently the toilets are looked after. The only thing they don't have is lockers. I think that would be a really smart move, because things can be nicked, and if you had your own locker, that might be a good move. But yeah, there you go. Don't have any. I did see there's a few people here today, not many. It's a weekday, so probably busier next Tuesday if the weather's nice. Certainly no problems with the weather. It's a beautiful day today. So there you go. You've got I think there's someone swimming there, and you've got Double Island in the background there, the Double Island dump. Apparently it's pretty run down, unfortunately. It would be an absolutely beautiful place to go if it was in good nick. Well, things have changed here. This is the area where they had the showers, the outside shower, and it's now being dug up. So maybe there's a preparation to finally connect this pathway to the pathway they built down there, which is a very good one from what I've seen. But yeah, this was where the outdoor shower area was. Got a light on over there too. If that's for construction, that's unusual. So the nets are all out. As you can see, this monstrous contraption. And let's see if there's any progress on the actual bridge crossing from Kawara to Clifton Beach. Ooh, very nice. Well, it is pleasant down here. I really should do it more often. This one's in a hammock. Smart move. Oh, very pleasant. Yeah, hammocks are practical, they're light. I saw a YouTube video on one of the cruising videos. I don't think I'm a cruising person. When I see some of these cruisers, I think, God, they're like death's waiting rooms, some of them. The one that could, with a bit of a heartbeat, appears to be the Virgin ones, although they're not cheap. None of them are cheap. And at least I think it's got decent entertainment on those ones, on the Virgin cruises. The other ones are sort of very old-fashioned type lineups. Apparently the food is excellent on Virgin, so that's a big plus. So there's not many options in Oz though. I looked it up. They have got a ship that goes all the way, or boat, whatever you call it, goes all the way from Southeast Asia around the coast of Australia, then to Europe. So they do have long voyages that are like about 50 plus days. And of course they cost an absolute squillion, because in a twin share, you know, a lot of these rooms are $1,000. It can be up to $1,000 a day. So you definitely pay for all that food. It's not free, and I think you still have to pay for your grog. So it's definitely not a cheap option. You wouldn't expect it to be, but I'd be tempted to do it once, I think, and maybe for a short one, maybe 4 or 5 nights. But I don't know if I want to share with someone else in the cabin. I think they're all designed for couples these days. So what you get is like a double or queen size bed. So if you're a single, you'd have to pay for the whole lot yourself. So that makes it a bit prohibitive. Okay, I can see the structure now. But look, I've never been on a cruise, so I can't really talk with any authority about it. I like water, I don't get seasick. So I think an all-adult cruise, I wouldn't go on one where you had kids and stuff, because that would totally change the nature of it. So it seems as if, this is all fairly new here. They're definitely changing things here. We are making progress, because that's Deep Creek there, and that structure is looking a lot more solid. They must have done a concrete pour. That is looking pretty good now. This section here was basically, they had the cavities waiting to be filled in with concrete. Now it looks pretty solid. That's definite progress. We're definitely getting there. Well, look, the surface there looks pretty damn good. You'd have to think that really 95% of the work's been done. I mean, that looks like a bloody solid structure to me. So it's better than I expected. Maybe there is a chance it will actually open before Christmas. I've given up on Woolworths. There's nothing happening there. There's a vacant lot. They've cleared the land, but nothing as far as construction is concerned. So they're behind schedule because I'm sure they are advertising for people to lease other businesses on that site in the third quarter of this year. And now we're in the fourth quarter and nothing seems to be happening. So they're doing okay here with this this bridge. This is looking really good. And it's a nice view too. So you get a spectacular view of the sea. And on that side you've got the mountains. It's beautiful. I think it's going to be a real winner. Very, very positive about this one. So all I'm going to do is halfway up there. That's bugger all work. They got that done really quickly on this end, so I don't see that's going to be an issue. If they remove the outside shower facilities down here, I'd say that might be a good sign that they are really preparing for something happening here in the next few weeks. Yeah, that looks good. Looks really good. Wow, that's a lot of work. Excellent. Sorry for the breeze. I always cop it from that end. It's always a southerly. Used to be fantastic when I had my flat in Parramatta Park in a hot day. The southerly was really good. But not so good for YouTubing, although up here in Kawara, it's a YouTuber's paradise compared to Cairns Central. I always had issues with wind. I think this Osmo camera is better at handling wind than the GoPro I had, but that's only part of it. There's quite a breeze here, so I'll sign off here. But yeah, that was really good to see. Very happy with the progress. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you or entertainment or whatever. And either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great. But please don't ignore me. That's the worst thing you can do on YouTube, is be ignored.